All right, hello everyone. My name is Matt. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you a lesson I created for the Chinese New Year. This lesson is suitable for grades 2, 3, or even grade 4. I set this lesson up in a way that I thought was fun and interesting and useful language for your students to know and remember for the future. Okay, if you're teaching this in China, this will be really great language for them, obviously. If you're teaching it somewhere outside China, it's a good way to teach something about Chinese culture to your students in another country. Okay, so if you want to download this PowerPoint, you can download it alone as a single PowerPoint, or I have it as part of a combo deal. Now I have 5 different lessons for different festivals and holidays throughout the year, and I'm going to package them all into one big download you guys can get either on Taobao or in the link in the video description below. So if you want to pick them all up together, it'll be a bit cheaper that way. So yeah, I really hope you enjoy this walkthrough, and yeah, let's get right into it. Oh, just one more thing. Don't forget to smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm and subscribe to my channel if you're not already. It would really help me out. All right, let's get into it. All right, let's have a look at this PowerPoint. So the beginning of the lesson is the same as always. I just made it all Chinese New Year-ified. So there's just Chinese New Year theme across the entire thing. I'll just show you very quickly so you can take a look at what it all looks like. When I make these special lessons, I like to change the intro so it's just more interesting for the kids, gets them ready to learn, and hopefully it doesn't get them too excited, that they're going to start misbehaving. But I think it's interesting to change the picture, since in my class it's always the same. Every week it looks the same pretty much. So all right, so let's get into the actual lesson. Of course, before teaching, I'm going to review, especially if this is the first lesson. Like if you do decide to download this PowerPoint and use it as your first lesson after the Chinese New Year, you can throw in some stuff here to review the stuff they learned in the last semester, just to get them ready to learn. If you're going to show it to them before the Chinese New Year, like this week or next week, of course, just review as normal. All right, so you can put your review material here. All right, let's learn. So teaching part 1, of course, we're scaffolding our lessons, right? So the first thing you need to teach are the basic things. Okay, what are we learning about today? Obviously, we're learning about the Chinese New Year. I'm going to show them this. In Chinese, it says the Spring Festival. And of course, if you want to change this to call it the Spring Festival, that's fine. I prefer to call it the Chinese New Year, mostly because that's how this holiday is known, at least in America. That's how it's known. So I'm trying to teach my students how to communicate in English with people who don't speak Chinese or don't understand Chinese culture. So I want to teach them the word that people are, like in America or in Europe, I'm pretty sure they use this word as well, are going to know what they're talking about. If they say, oh, it's the Spring Festival, some people who understand Chinese culture are going to know what that means, but many people are not, including myself. When I lived in America, I didn't know the Spring Festival. I knew the word the Chinese New Year. It's the Chinese New Year. Okay, so I'm trying to teach them how to communicate with people who don't speak Chinese, who don't understand Chinese culture. That's my ultimate goal, right? Communicating in English. Okay, so first we're going to start with a pop quiz. I included this pop quiz in my New Year's lesson for my just regular New Year lesson, but obviously it makes sense to include it here. For pop quizzes, I would select one student from each team and let them choose the right answer. Of course, this is going to be quite easy, especially if you're teaching this in China, they're going to know it's the year of the tiger. Okay, so what do you do at the Chinese New Year? Now, this is just the part of the lesson where I'm trying to get them to show me what they can already say in English, see what they know. I'm showing them some pictures here. If you're teaching this to grade 4, you're going to have students who know most of these, not all of them, but it gives them a chance to show off what they already know. And also for you, it's great to see what they already know. It helps you gauge in the future how good their English is and all these different things. And as a learning tool, it's really great because the students can, correct mistakes. If they raise their hand and they say, one of these and they say it wrong, then you can correct them and they can learn, from their mistakes. And it's just a great learning tool to, see what they know already. All right, so then we're going to go through each one. Now, the way I set this up is I want to first see if anyone knows what it is. Of course, they'll raise their hands. And again, same thing, gauging what they already know. And then I'm showing it like this. So I want to teach this in two parts. There's the red packets, or you can change it to red envelopes or whatever you want to call it. And then, see if they know what the verb is. Okay, so in this case, all the verbs are in red, and I want to see if they know what it is. Okay, so it's get red packets. That is, the English I'm choosing to use. You can change it to receive red packets if you want to, if you're teaching this to grade 4, or you decide, okay, I'm going to try this with grade 5 even, because my kids are a little bit lower level, but I think they can handle learning a harder word. You can teach, receive. I prepared this so it can be taught to grade 2, so I'm not going to teach them the word receive. Majority of my students, it's going to be a little bit too difficult. So I'm trying to keep it easy. They're still learning the word get. So let's just keep with that. And of course, if you want, you can have them write this down in their notebook. I didn't include the small notebook in the corner like I normally do with these lessons, because this is designed for grade 2 or 3. And many teachers don't have grade 2 or 3 take notes. So I didn't have it there. So you can also teach them an action, of course. As always, I always teach an action, mostly with new words. It's a great way to have them remember, okay? And I'll go through the same process with each one, okay? Obviously, like I said, there's two things happening here. There's a noun and then there's a verb. So I'm teaching them one by one, I might first just ask, what's this? What's this? Then some of them might know the word fireworks, or, you can teach firecrackers if you want, and then, set off. Now, this is going to be a little bit difficult. I doubt any of my grade 2s are going to know this. So this is going to be great. They're going to learn something really, really fun and useful in this lesson. I'm excited about that. And just go through each one. Some of them are a bit easier, and yeah, some of them are a review of things that we've already learned. But as I've said previously, I think when you're teaching, you should mix in things that they already know with things that they don't know. That way it builds confidence. If you show them a bunch of stuff they don't know, that's a great way to intimidate your class. I think it's a good mix to have, oh, I already know this. Yeah, I'm smart. I'm good at English. And then also challenge them a bit. Okay. And this is the hard one. Okay. So they're definitely not going to know this. This is the way that it's referred to, in China. I hear this all the time. You can change it to watch the New Year's special or whatever. You can make it a little easier. Learn the word Gala. I think it's an interesting word for them to learn. And this is actually the way that this is referred to by Chinese people, like when they speak English. So that's why I included it like this. Okay, so that is all the vocabulary. And then let's move on to the first game. Okay, so this is the slow reveal game. Very basic. The blocks will just disappear, and the first student to say what the word is will get a point. Okay. So yeah, this is a very easy game. The kids really like it, and I like to include it in the easy lessons for grade 2 as, just a fun way to get them to say the vocabulary together. Okay, so here I've got a word bank on the left-hand side so they can see each one. Before the first round, you can read them all again. See family, eat dumplings, get red packets, set off fireworks, watch the New Year's Gala. You can point each one, have them say it together. You can even do the actions before you slowly reveal what it is. Now, when I play this game, the first student to say it, they get a point for their team, okay? And then I'll have the whole class say it together, okay? And it's very basic. This is a very basic game, but believe me, grade 2, grade 3, grade 1, even grade 4 and 5, like they really like this game because it's a, bragging rights. Who can recognize what it is before their classmates just by seeing one? You could even change this if you are so savvy. You can just make it so you push it and only one block disappears and see if anyone can recognize it. There's a bunch of ways you could do this. Okay, so each word will be shown one time. You can even rearrange them or double them up to trick them, so they think, okay, only set off fireworks is left, so it must be set off fireworks. You can do doubles and stuff if you want. Okay. Now here, after the first game, we have do you know which words are missing? Okay, so I have a little thing here. It says, teacher, click on the picture of their selection to reveal points, because the way this works is students will raise their hands and they can go in any order they want. Okay, so they don't have to say eat dumplings first. What we're doing here is testing their memory of the verbs. Okay, so you can, before doing this, you can go through each one. You can say blank dumplings, blank red pockets, blank family, blank the New Year's Gala, blank fireworks, and then call on teams one by one to raise their hand and choose one. They can choose whichever one they want. Okay, now for example, I programmed this so if they when you click on the picture itself, Okay, let's say a student raises their hand and says, set off fireworks. When you click on this, it will show you the word and it will reveal points, okay? So you give the points to the team, whoever said it, their whole team says it together, go to the next team, okay, they say eat dumplings, click on eat dumplings, ooh, 3 points. Everyone says eat dumplings from that team. Next team says watch the New Year's Gala. Okay, so there is 6 points there, very excited. And next team says get red packets, okay? And so on. If you have 4 teams, then the last one, you can ask the whole class to say what it is, and you can give the points to yourself if you get points on the board as well as a teacher, or you can have each team rock, scissors, paper off for the last extra one if you like. I don't do that just because I just don't want to waste time in class, but you could do that. If you have 2 teams, each team goes twice and there's still an extra. If you have 5 teams, perfect, okay? Oh, only 3 points. Okay, that's the way that works. And then we'll move on into the next game. This is a writing game. So on this slide, you can see the example. Now the way it'll work is you bring up one student from each team on the board. You can draw a line for them, give them chalk. Okay. With the example here, you can actually bring up students and have them do it so that they can see how it actually works. And you show them this, and there's the 3 things there, and they need to write the correct one on the line, okay? And then you reveal the answer. It's C family, okay? This should be quite easy. It's just spelled wrong for the other one, so they should know it's S-E-E, C family. And then you actually begin the game. Bring up one student from each team before you go to the next slide, okay? When you go to the next slide, they will see this, and they need to choose which one it is. They write it on the board. Obviously, everyone who's sitting down not playing should be quiet. If they're not, you can remove points from their team. It can get exciting. It's fine, This is a special lesson for the Chinese New Year, so they might get a little excited. It's okay. Just make sure between rounds you do a countdown, sit nicely. And what I do in my class is the first team to sit nicely gets extra points. So I'm like, okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, sit nicely. And then I look for which team is sitting nicely first, and I will give that team extra points. If you have this habit of doing this with them, they will comply quickly, and it gets very competitive to be the first team which is quiet. Okay, so this is how it works. Again, whoever writes the correct answer can get 1 point or 2 points. Whoever was first can get an extra point if you like. Whoever wrote with the nicest handwriting can get 1 or 2 points extra, whatever. Okay, there's a bunch of ways you could make this so it's not just, everyone, a lot of them are probably going to be able to know it's G-E-T, okay? But maybe not. They might make mistakes. Okay, and then bring up 4 more. Like I said, bring up the students before you go to the next slide. Okay, so that it is a race to write the correct answer. Okay, and that's how this one works. It's a very simple yet effective game. The students will enjoy it. I promise you. I've done games like this a lot over the years, and it's a very fun thing for the students to do. And C family. Okay. All right, teaching part 2. Okay, so here we're going to make sure they know these 2 very important words. If you're teaching this to grade 4, I assume they probably know it, depending where you're teaching, how good their English is. If you're teaching grade 2, I think there's a good chance that a lot of them don't know it. In my class, even though their English is quite good, there's still going to be 25 or 30% of the class who don't know this or have learned it and forgot. Okay, so it's a great time to review it. You can call on students to tell you which, how to say each one. And then, you can do actions. Like I have why, or some people go why, and then because, or because. There's a bunch of different ways you could teach it with actions, okay? And then we're going to go into the question. Why do you like the Chinese New Year? Now, I think grade 2, 3, they should know the word like. This is going to be something they learned in grade 1, hopefully. So I didn't go through and teach it here. When I have other lessons for grade 2, again, I make sure they know the word like by showing it and making sure. But I think they're going to know it now, especially at this point. If you've taught the other lessons I have for grade 2, they know the word like by now. So you can teach them, have them say the whole sentence together. Why do you like the Chinese New Year? Because I like to set off fireworks. Now, before you even show the answer, you can actually call on students. They just learned a bunch of different things, right? So you can see, can they actually use the word because? Can they actually figure out that you just taught them a bunch of reasons why they might like it? It's a great time to just Get them to think, why do you like the Chinese New Year? Why? Why do you like it? Of course they're going to like it. If you're teaching this in China or Taiwan, they love the Chinese New Year. It's the biggest holiday of the year. And see what they say. And then you can show them this, and the class can say it together. Because I like to set off fireworks, okay? You can drill this by team. You can have the whole class say it and then call on team 1 to stand up. And the whole class asks them, why do you like the Chinese New Year? And that team 1 says, because I like to set off fireworks. Based on how well they answer, you can give them an allotted amount of points. What I do is I say, if you say it very nicely, I will give you 5 points. And they're like, yeah, and then they don't say it very nicely, or some students aren't saying it. I point out which students didn't say it, and then that team only gets 3 points or 4 points, and then I move on. Next one. Why do you like the Chinese New Year? Okay, and then show them this, and go to the next team. That team stands up. Whole class asks, why do you like the Chinese New Year? And they say, because I like to eat dumplings. Good, everyone on team 2 asked. Team 2, 5 points. Next one. Why do you like the Chinese New Year? Team 3, stand up. Because I like to see family. Okay, good job, team 3, but 2 students didn't answer. Only 4 points for team 3. And so on with team 4 and team 5 if you have it. If you don't have that many teams, you can go back to the original teams and have them, say it one more time. Okay, and this is how we're drilling this basic, question answer for this lesson. Just want to mention again, I'm teaching a speaking class. As you're aware, I'm sure this is primarily focused on speaking communication. So the students are going to be practicing pronunciation, fluency, vocabulary, things like that. Okay, let's move on to the dialogue game. Okay, so for this game, it's a fill in the blanks game, and I put here choose a treasure chest. That is to remind the teachers as well that they can choose a treasure chest during this game. First thing, I want to make sure the students know the dialogue. So we should say the dialogue together. Do you like the Chinese New Year? Yes, I do. Now this should be very basic. They should understand this. Do you? Shama shama. Yes, I do. And then why? And then because I like to. And they say the verb and the noun that we've learned, during this lesson. So you can drill it with the class. You can ask a few students, and then bring up 2 students from team 1, put them in front of the board, and tell the rest of the class to be quiet. And they need to fill in the blanks, okay? They need to say the missing words, okay? So they can try it once through. They should be able to figure it out. You can call on, again, when you're doing something which is new like this, call on students you think can handle it. Don't choose randomly. Don't choose students who you're not sure. Choose those students who are pretty confident already during the class, who you think are a good person to model this activity for you, okay? So other students can see by example, okay? So those students come up or they stand at their seats from a single team and they go through the dialogue. He figures it out. Do you like the Chinese New Year? And then she says, yes, I do. And then he says, why? Very good. And then she should look at the picture, okay? You can point at the picture and she should say, because I like to eat dumplings, okay? The picture there is to, so they know which one to say, okay? And then you say choose. Do you want this treasure chest or this treasure chest? Okay, there are points behind it. And so they choose this one, okay, +2, they get 2 points, okay? Those students sit down, bring up 2 students from the other team or the next team, and same thing. Now there's just different words missing, a little bit more words missing, okay? And they do the same thing. They come up or stand at their seats and they need to figure out the missing words, okay? Obviously, do you like the Chinese New Year? Yes, I do. Why? Because I like to set off fireworks. Good job. Oh, I forgot to mention this. If they can complete the dialogue on their own without your help, you can give them extra points. Or if they just do a good job, they confidently speak, or if you just want to give them extra points, like because they said it, even if they did need extra help, but they're brave, they came up and did it, they can get 1 or 2 points, plus they can choose a treasure chest. Now, when it comes to choosing treasure chests, I like to have the class, say, which one do you choose? Which one do you choose? And they say, this one, 3 points, okay? And the next team comes up and rinse and repeat, okay? There's enough here for each team, if there's 4 teams, to have a single go. Obviously, both are clickable, but have them only choose one. And yeah, that's how it works. And yeah, that is the fill in the blanks game. I think it's fun, easy, and effective. Let's go on to the red packet game. Okay, so in the red packet game, they're going to say the dialogue and choose a red packet. So the way I would do it is I would have all of Team 1 stand up, and then the whole class should ask them, do you like the Chinese New Year? And they say, yes, I do. And the whole class says, why? And they can say their own answer here. Okay, so they say, because I like to, and they can be saying their own answer. Okay, it gets loud, but it gives them all a chance to say what they want to say. After they do that, you can ask individuals on that team to tell you, what they said. So because I like to set off fireworks, good job. You'd have that student come up and choose a red packet. It's kind of a good reward at the end of the class. You can pick out the students who are very good during the class, and you can say, she was very good today. She can choose the red packet. So she comes up and she picks one, and you click it, and there are points for that team. Oh, 7 points. Okay, then Team 1 sits down, Team 2 stands up. Whole class says, do you like the Chinese New Year? The whole team says, yes, I do. And the class says, why? And they all say their answer. You can't understand anything. And then you call on, 1 or 2 students to tell you their answer, and you choose one of them to come up and choose a red packet. He chooses this one, only 3, oh no. And repeat that for the rest of the class for the other teams, or if you have only 2 teams, they can go back and forth for 4 rounds, because there are 8 red packets here. Okay, and then once they're all gone, you can move on into the end of the lesson, which is a drawing and writing activity. So if you do decide to download this PowerPoint and you do teach it as is, make sure the students have their crayons or colored pencils with them. I think they should, and you can ask the school to prepare paper for you, okay? What I generally do is I just buy paper just because, I don't want the school to forget, or I just want to make sure that my lesson's going to go smoothly. It doesn't cost that much. I'd rather just have the paper. It's going to save me a headache. And maybe the school reimburse you, you can tell the school I bought paper, maybe they reimburse you. If they have lots of paper there in your office, you can just grab some, make sure you ask. But okay, so also make sure to tell the students or your liaison or the teachers, make sure the students have their colored pencils or crayons or whatever. Mostly they do, depending on your school. My students always have, their crayons or colored pencils in their little locker, so it's not a problem. But just make sure, remind the teacher, or ask them, do the students have crayons? Make sure they have it. And then you tell them that they are going to write about why you like the Chinese New Year here, and draw a picture of your Chinese New Year here, okay? And you can show them an example, okay? So here's the picture, and then you write about why you like the Chinese New Year. Now, you can have them color in everything, obviously. I couldn't find a good non-copyrighted photo of a family which was colored, okay? So I didn't have one here, but you can obviously have them color in everything. They can decorate it however they like. Tell them they can be creative, and you can have them read this together. I like the Chinese New Year because I like to see my family and get red packets. I like red packets, okay? They can write whatever they want, see what they can do. If you're teaching this to grade 3 or 4, you can make this a little harder, however you like it. This is just an example, of one way you could do it, just so, you can see. I'll probably do something simple like this. The kids really like to draw, and it's a holiday lesson, they're just coming back after the break. Or if they're about to go on break, if you teach it this week or next week. So it's a great activity. And then if there's time at the end, you want to, as they're packing up or right before they're packing up, you can, just, walk around the room. They're all still drawing and stuff maybe, and you're just asking some students, have them stand up, or maybe the teachers walk in at this moment and the kids are coloring and everything looks great, and then you're showing off the kids can do all this different stuff. You call on them. The whole class says, do you like the Chinese New Year? It's yes, I do. Why? Because I like to set off fireworks or whatever. It's a great way to end the lesson, wrap it all up. And then this slide is good. You can take this slide and put it in your future lessons for review. And you have a full lesson there ready to go. And that's the end of the lesson. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed it. All right, that's the end of the walkthrough. I really hope you enjoyed that. I hope you found it useful. And don't forget, if you want to download that PowerPoint, just go to the video description below. There'll be a link. or you can go to Taobao and you can find it there. And also, as I said in the beginning, I now have 5 different festival lessons that I've packaged together into one big deal. So if you want to get them together, it'll be a bit cheaper, and you'll have a holiday lesson for many of the holidays around the year. And also I'm going to add, I'll have in the future, I'll have one for the Dragon Boat Festival and Easter, and I think Earth Day, and any other lessons I'm going to probably come up with or come across in the future that I think are suitable for a lesson. So if you're seeing this in the future, you can check out in the video description below, you'll see a long list of different lessons. Maybe you'll see a larger combo deal that's not just these 5. So if you like this video, you found it useful, don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.